Nolan. Your oldest brother, birthday was it today or yesterday?
Yesterday. Yeah.
That's cool. I texted your mom.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
They're really late here, so it's coming in the account.
Kelsey, you want to go?
Well, welcome back. We know this isn't your first time since being back here. Just heard you talking to Alexa just about how many emotions still come whenever you do come back here.
Yeah.
Is it as strong as it was last year, or what is it like coming back this year?
It's not as strong as last year. I think last year was pretty hard coming here. To be quite honest, I didn't really enjoy it. I enjoyed the crowd and the fans. I mean, they made me enjoy it, and that was awesome, but it was just a little weird. This year it doesn't feel that weird. But when you walk through the tunnel from the parking lot, you get those emotions again. Because I remember that, I walked that tunnel so many times throughout my career that that's when the feelings start feeling again. And I love Colorado. Obviously landing off plane and driving toward downtown and dealing with that traffic again was great. So, it was awesome. There's just a lot of great feelings again.
Is it a little weirder now? Trevor's in Boston, you're in St. Louis. The teams break it up a little bit. Like, is that weird for you to see? That's different.
A little bit. We just played DJ. Saw Story in Boston. It's a little weird, but obviously seeing Charlie here, those bring back good memories. But yeah, it's a little different. I think Charlie, Marquez, Freeland, Estevez were probably the only team. The guys that I remember being part of the group for a while from 17, 18 to those playoff years and stuff like that. So everybody else is kind of new, so it's a little different. So it's cool.
You were out in center field talking to guys before the game. What was that like?
Yeah, Mooney and Jaspy, those are guys are probably the closest guys I am on that team. They were helping me get my body ready, and Mooney was like my flipper in batting practice. I made him come with me on off days, so I kind of made him work harder than he probably deserved. That he needed. But those are my guys, and those are the guys I'd still talk to all the time.
Hey Nolan, I asked Buddy this question a few minutes ago. A lot of hitters, when they're at Coors Field, they get the reputation as a product of Coors Field. You've heard that for years.
Yeah.
Has it meant anything to you to go to St. Louis in that environment and produce like you produce?
Yeah.
Did you ever think about it in those terms at all?
At times, I think, I definitely wanted to prove people wrong. There's a sense of pride, I guess, when you have, you want to prove people wrong. But, obviously last year I didn't do a great, the year that I expected to do. But I still drove in 100, still hit 30, so those are still important things, and we made the playoffs. But it used to bother me a lot, and then, I guess I just got over it because I know who I am as a player. I know who DJ thinks he is as a player. I think it doesn't, I think it's a real disservice to the players that play here.
And Matt Holiday?
Yeah, Holiday. And I think, even the players here that are playing here now, I think if you're playing well, you play well anywhere. That's always been my thought.
I remember I asked you once when you were still with the Rockies about when visiting teams would come into Coors. I'm thinking mostly the Cubs, the Giants, the Dodgers, and certainly the Cardinals. And like tonight, there's going to be a lot of red.
Yeah.
What's your take on it now? Because I know back in the day you didn't really love the fact that the visiting team took over Coors. Yeah. Now you're with the other side. How cool is it that the Cardinal fans?
It is pretty amazing. It's awesome. Whenever you go to places, we go to Wrigley. It's a packed house, and when we get a big hit, our fans are cheering loud, and it's really a great feeling. And when you're playing well, that usually happens. And in 17, 18, our fans got loud, and they were there for us too. So, but St. Louis, there's a sense of pride they take in being there. I remember when I flew to Washington, because I missed the series in Toronto. I was on a flight with basically the whole St. Louis fan base, so it was a little weird, but that's how much they love it, man. We're all together. It was pretty trippy, but they love their Cardinals.
You're playing for a first place team. You're in the NL MVP race. Is this sort of what you envisioned when you made the change to get more of those things?
I would say more of just division race, having a chance to win the division. That's what I envision, and MVP stuff, all that. I think that's Goldie's award. I would have to go on a serious run to get that award from him, and he deserves it right now. But just to be in that conversation, to get back in that conversation from where I was last year, it's a good feeling because I know I'm playing better baseball, and I know I'm a better player than what I did last year, and it feels good that I put a lot of work in, so it feels good to see that it's paying off right now.
Nolan, are you a better baseball player all around now than when we saw you every day back in 2020? Although that was not.
Yeah.
Do you think overall, though, even though you're older, do you think you're a better ball player all the way?
I think so. I think experience is the best teacher. I think it always has been. But I think so. I think in 17, I thought that was my best season ever for me as a Rocky. It was the most fun I ever had, and I don't really have fun. I can't think of any time I really had fun playing baseball. Have fun, because it's so intense. I take it as it's a job. That's how I see it. So I don't see it as fun. But 17 was the most fun because I was good and we played well. First time we had the playoffs in a while, and then 18 was a lot of fun too. So, those 2 years I was really good. I thought 19 I was really good, but I think the experience and then playing in a big ballpark, just little things I've had to learn about myself. I've had to grow up, because what works here doesn't work in St. Louis, you know what I mean? Because the ball doesn't fly like St. Louis, like Colorado. So I've really had to get a moment with myself and find a way to get better.
So I want to ask you, Nolan, is how you have adjusted to being a hitter at push. Having the full year there last year, did that help this year with how you are as a hitter?
For sure. I think last year was, I hate to say it, but it was almost a blessing in disguise that I didn't play as good as I wanted to. Because it just showed me that I had to get back to the drawing boards in a sense of figuring out how I can get better and what I need to do. And I feel like I've done that a little bit better this year. We still have a lot of games left. There's still room to get better, but I feel like I made that transition, and I found a way that I was like, all right, what worked in Colorado won't work in St. Louis.
Nolan, does the swing in St. Louis work anywhere?
Yeah, my swing worked. My swing in Colorado worked, but the last few years in Colorado I was getting away with, you got to hit the ball hard. And St. Louis, you got to hit the ball hard. Here, you can get away with a couple 96-mile-per-hour homers. St. Louis, so I just had to learn how to get in a better position to hit.
You find that swing though in St. Louis plays anywhere. Can you make that? Is that part of what's going on with you?
I think so. I think that absolutely. I think that's the adjustment. If you could, St. Louis is probably the best pitcher's ballpark in the game, and to be able to play well there, I think is a good sign.
Nolan, Ryan McMahon was a Gold Glove candidate at third base last year. Has it been nice to kind of enjoy watching him keep the hot corner warm for you?
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention a whole lot. I don't know how he's doing, but I know he was really good last year. I know he could really play. I still want that award, so I don't know.
Nolan, can you talk about
your favorite memory here at Coors? But as you're doing these interviews, I noticed you just looking around the whole time. When you look around, when you're actually here, is there anything that stands out to you memory-wise?
Probably 2018, game 162 here. We needed to beat the Nationals. I just remember how packed it was. It was a big game, and everyone was chanting "Beat LA, beat LA." That was really cool. That's one of the memories I have. And obviously, hitting for the cycle here was amazing on Father's Day. But I don't know, watching Charlie hit in front of me, watching DJ hit in front of me. Those are a lot of good memories because I got to hit with man on third and second with no outs all the time. So I was pretty fortunate to have those guys in front of me. So I think about that when I step up.
Nolan, can you talk about the run you've had as a team with St. Louis over the past year and a half compared to that 17-18 run with the Rockies?
Yeah, I think it's just those. What I noticed is that those tight games, finding ways to win them. Yeah. And I feel like in 17-18, that's what we did. When the game got tight and it got a little toward the end, we found a way to win it. And I feel like that's what we're doing right now in St. Louis, is that we're finding a way to win games. In the first half, we would lose those games, and this year, right now in the second half, we're winning those tight, close games. You
talked about how much fun you had in 17. How is this stretch with St. Louis comparing to that?
It's fun, but it's a little stressful because, there's so many games left and we're only up a few games. But yeah, we have a chance to win the division, and it'd be the first time I've ever been a part of a team that's won the division. So, yeah, I want to win. So I'm excited.
Were you surprised that the Rockies signed Chris Bryant and made financial commitment there?
Not really. I remember when he was getting drafted, they really liked him a lot, and they wanted to draft him. But I think he got taken or something. I don't know what happened, but no, not really. I think Chris is a terrific ball player. He can play any position, and so yeah.
Before the game, the Rockies are going to be honoring Molina, and Pujols, a guy that you've long kind of favored and enjoyed watching. Have you thought about what that moment's going to be like here in this ballpark? Pujols being honored, again, you being one of his teammates.
Yeah, the Rockies, knowing the Rockies, they'll probably do it right, and I think Albert and Yachty, they deserve that recognition. They're legends of this game, and it's great to see organizations like the Rockies and everybody else that's really been giving them credit, giving that attention that they deserve, because we'll never see those type of players ever again. Maybe not for another 100 years. I don't know.
You mentioned Charlie Blackmon. He's putting together a pretty good season. I know that probably can't surprise you. He seems to be like an angel's wonder. But what can you say just about the leader that he is? I know a quiet leader, but the way that he works and the type of player that he has been for so many years now.
Yeah, well, Charlie's a perfectionist. I think some people think I am. I probably got a lot of it from him because of how intense he is. But Charlie's a great player. He's always has been. He'll go down as one of the best Rockies that ever play. And I'm not surprised. Charlie's a good player. I know he wasn't happy with the way he played last year, and to see him bounce back again, it's a huge thing. And it's not easy as you get older. As he would tell you, it's not easy. But he still finds a way.
A lot of cheers last time he came down. Do you expect a little different?
I'm guessing it might not be quite as loud, just because they've already seen me here before. But I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I just know that I appreciate all of them and what they've done for me throughout my whole career. And last year was pretty special for me and my family that was here. But whatever they are, man, I know that I appreciate them. That's why I always like to let them know that I love them and they were always there for me. So.
You talked about Goldie being the MVP. How long did it take you to really develop that chemistry with him on the field and the lineup as well?
It took last year it took a little bit. Obviously getting to know him and stuff like that, but. The chemistry is, I feel like we bounce things off each other. We talk a lot about approaches before the bats and different things like that. So there's a lot of things that we go over that's really helped us. He's the best. I play with some good players, but Goldie to me is the best player I've ever played with. I think he's way better than me. So I'm always trying to find ways. It's just like when Tulo was here and Cargo, I was trying to find ways to get better with them. It's the same thing with Goldie. I'm always trying to find ways to get better with them.
When you were saying to Patrick earlier that you think you're playing better baseball now than you ever were, was Goldie part of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Goldie's our main part. I mean, he gets on base, he drives and runs, he's our leader, and I think it's just more of like trying to help him out. You know what I mean? In a sense of like be there, and we got to play our part also and pick him up. So I just think we're trying to take a sense of pride in that.
Hey, Nolan, with Albert.
What's up, man?
With Nolan or with Albert, you utilize any of his drills, all his teamwork stuff? Is there anything you've taken from his prep stuff?
Yeah, I started doing some machine work, or he was doing some machine work in spring, and I asked him why, and he was kind of explaining to me why, and then I just was like, all right, well, if Albert's doing it, I'm just going to start doing it. So I started doing the machine work because he was doing it, and it actually does help me. So there's definitely a lot of things. Approach, certain guys. I mean, I still talk to him all the time about it. I mean, he's a great resource, obviously the greatest right-hander ever, so it's really cool.
A few weeks after the All-Star game, does it feel like that break for you made a big difference in your second half?
Yeah, it did. Not going was disappointing because I like going to LA and it's home, but I was still able to go home to Orange County and rest. I think it's paid dividends right now as far as my body, my back feels.
Thanks.